So hello everyone, Mondon here, and welcome to my review of Oratoria episode 10. Definitely a short review I usually do because not much to say with the episode. I think it was easily the worst episode of the season by far. I would probably give it like a weak 4 out of 10 or so. And I think it's mainly, of course, that it's just too much repetitive use of old material. And I was fine with that for the episodes. Like we did last week, episode 9, that was very little used of like maybe 1.5 minutes or so of old, maybe a little more, but like around maybe 2 at max, but spread out. And that mainly fueled Lefea's net rush. She was like, oh, she's gonna be, oh, this is my girl, I'm Yandere. Like this, she was going, oh, Yandere over that, and so on. That was completely fine then, because that was hilarious, and they used it very little to show how the main story is affecting other people inside and so on like that. But here, after the big revelation of level 7, Oratoria comes later on, but like that after the revelation, like roughly 5 or so minutes, excluding the ending, 7-minute ending, that was just pure just using the same timer. And in the end, very noticeable quarter, it's 5 minutes in straight, right? It's not like last week, maybe it was like, let's say, half a minute there, 1 minute there, so I mean, like, you know, every little so on. This was like 5 minutes, you know, in one interval, right? No skipping parts, no like, you know, cutting in here and there, no, like 5 minutes in straight time there, and that was really boring to watch, honestly. I did not enjoy seeing first. I mean, I enjoyed it somewhat. I mean, I liked the original anime, so obviously I enjoyed Bell as well. But still, like, that's just exactly the scene we've seen pretty much from another angle, somewhat, right? So it's like half of the scene is pretty much drawn exactly the same, right? Another half is like, okay, it's the same scene, but instead of seeing it from this camera angle, we see it from this camera angle, like over here instead, right? That's the only difference, pretty much. If even that, right? But a little bit that. So that felt very lazy. So obviously the episode was very much like that. And even before that, we did see this with like the Frey ambushing a little bit. But after that, we see the Bell. That was really fun though with Lefea. But a little of that, and them trading on the wall, which was a nice, lovely scene though. But still, that is also, you know, like used content, right? And even that, I love the scene though, but probably that if we look back at the episode, like, then I watched the episode the first time, obviously, but I was watching it, that was it. For the first time, I was like, yeah, this is pretty nice. Like they were falling in love with each other, it's some kind of like respect and also personality. So like that's pretty nice, it's heartwarming. That is fine. So it's like 1 minute of reuse scene. I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. It's a good time to use that. But then of course after that, we see the missing 5 minutes of the scene. I mean, so together that's like 7 or so, 8 or so minutes. At least 7 minutes, I would say. I think so. That is just reused, right? And because that was like, so the first, so looking at the whole, right, that is a huge percentage that is just reused material. So that was scene, but it was a good scene. Looking at back now, seeing the whole episode, that's like, wow, they used so much. Yeah, so what can I say about the episode? That's pretty much it, right? No, but that was really weird. And it felt like it came off from like a really fun episode. I expected it to be like hardline story driven. And first we see this like weird Oppai scene with Loki and Tion, and then they're like, yeah, oh, look at my breast, I'm doing this like breast exercise, and it's like, this is so weird. Like, it brings like nothing. I found it somewhat, I mean, I found it funny. I was gonna say like, oh, it was boring, boob jokes, but like it was somewhat funny. But it was still like, I don't know. I like the whole Loki part and her part. Yeah, I mean, her flatness has been an ongoing joke, so I kind of liked it. I think it was like a pretty good scene. Comedy-wise, absolutely, but story-wise, obviously, it meant nothing, right? So that's a little like, you know, that. And then we see this part with like Finn and like the other guys, Gutter, or I said them. They were doing this like, it was a bit nice that they like to combine their hands and so on. That was a bit nice, but still, we see that scene, and it's like, yeah, okay, like that's something. I mean, it's nothing new, right? See what I mean? Because we already know they're kind of best friends, and they didn't actually show anything. They kind of showed them as young, and only if it was that, I think it was Gnotter, how do you say his name? That he had like less of a rough face, a little shorter beard. Finn is the same, and obviously the other person is an elf, so she looks the same as well, right? So they all look the same. So they two look exactly the same. Because Finn is like he's like a 10-year-old something. For some reason, he's like 60 years old or something, but no one knows. So I don't know. It's weird. And obviously, the elf doesn't age as well, right? So, or age, but like slowly. So that was kind of a weird scene there. Like it was a little nice. I didn't think it was a bad scene, but if you look at it as a progression of the main story, obviously did nothing as well after that boob scene. So it was like that, then the boob scene. See what I mean? So the only thing that actually happened in this episode was that Ice got that like a blue crystal thing, right, from Lulele. And I was like, oh my god, Lulele, stop working for the fucking evil people, right? That's the only thing that happened in the main story. And supposedly, I guess Freya sending her assassins after Ice somewhat, but actually that was actually kind of shown in the other episode as well, like Oratoria and so on. So, wow, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Yeah, two other things I mentioned, of course, that I liked though. I mean, it wasn't all bad. I love the Lefeya part where she was walking past to see Belle with those elf maidens. That one of them is like level 6 or something, maybe even level 7. Yeah, and just like, I won't lose to you! And she runs past, right? And then she runs past them, and he's like, what happened? How did, what? that was a great scene. And I could see this Hephaestus babe that Loki was hitting on last week, also, yeah. And we heard like, oh, beat, oh my beat, how's your weapon going, darling? And he's like all sudden like, get off me, woman, get off me with your boobs. He's like, no. I was like, that was pretty fun as well, right? He's always like a Sundra there, like Loki. He's like, look, carry me, beat. And he's like, no, I don't want that woman. You know, he has the kind of that phobia, right? The Europhobia thing going for him. So that's been fun there. But otherwise, of course, actually only really good scene, like a really good scene, of course, is the revelation of King Ottaru. They spelled like Ottar, OTTR, AR, but the some have said RLU because they can't say the R and the L, and if you say either of them, they say U afterwards, right? So like Ottaru, or is it Ottar? I think it's actually supposed to be Ottar. But the Japanese might say it Otaru or Otaru. But I think it must be just Ottar. Anyway, this is Ottar. He's only level 7, and that's a huge revelation, right? Actually, for the main story for me personally, because I think like, man, he was the one training the military, so later they spent too much time on, and so on, right? And we see that guy, yeah, he's actually level 7. They're only level 7, which was huge. But he's the only one has that level. Everyone calls him the king, which is the highest level they have in the whole Oratoria, right? That is huge. It also means that Freya probably is the strongest one. Like it's been disputed a little bit from us in the first episode who's the strongest, if it's like Loki and so on. But I guess it's Freya now. She has the only one that has the highest level. And she has and so on, right? But yeah, so she's possibly should be the highest level. Of course, we know that Freya is way stronger than Hestia, which is obviously Hestia's like the bottom, but still, like, she's way higher, right? That she wants her that boy toy Belle, right? So that story is. Means more to me now. I think that's the biggest thing with the King revelation here, because it means that Freya impacted him and like the military thing and so on. It's even more, stronger, right, than we would imagine from watching Danmachi. I didn't know it was level 7. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was never mentioned in the main story. So I mean, it probably is. I mean, eventually, but not for the animated one. So that was big for me, at least knowing that. Because he is, kind of responsible for training Belle a little bit and so on, right? Of course, looking out for him, and also kind of want to kill him. Kind of weird sense with Freya, she actually want to do so on, right? So that means a lot more. The one thing I felt weird though is that he's level 7. If 7 is a max level, someone is supposedly like its current level at least. And I assume that Susan Hero had like level 8 or 9 or something like that. Like Belle's parents probably were like level 10 or something ridiculous, right? The Argonauts, yeah, so they probably have a higher level. But it feels like because Finn, for example, looks the same, so also I guess he is level 6. And he's been that, I guess, for like what 40 years. Like, yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, how long have they been level 6? That's the weird anime. The anime never really defines. And thinking about how Belle leveled up so quickly, obviously it's really good then, but it was kind of like, you don't know how good it is because it's kind of weird to sense. Well, we know that she was like 3 years to get to level 6. So I was wondering like how long time, like it would be really cool to know how long the King took to come from 6 to 7. So you kind of see some kind of perspective of how hard it is to actually get to 7. Because they get like higher stats, they get higher attack power and health and so on the current level. And eventually, I don't know, for some reason they max up the next level, right? So it's kind of like how far is Finn and the other guys from being 7? That would be great to know. So I find it's weird that it's 7 because I think it would be a little better if it's like 8 or something, to be honest. Like, he's only level 8. And someone say, yeah, there is no 7. Like, that would sound better to me, to be honest. But all it would be way better if it's 2 step higher after them had, like, like a gap in between them there, which would make him really, really powerful. but I just mean in general too, because it kind of like it feels a little weird that it, to me it seems that Finn or not like high experienced 6 people should at any moment really get to 7, right? Not any moment, but you see what I mean, because it isn't defined how fast to get to 7. So Finn might be in 10 years. So it's like when you get to 7, it's like, well, King did it in 5 years. He's a genius or something, right? See what I mean? So without knowing that, it's kind of like, I don't know, couldn't Finn become 7 at any battle, like at 59 this battle this season or something? I don't know. So it's definitely a little weird. But bigger which mainly for the main story. Because I would argue and say that then obviously Freya is but like I would say Freya is the strongest family, right? The current strongest family since the Zeus family got wiped out, right? Pretty much wiped out, yeah. So that is big mainly, I would say. So last thing I would say, the only bad part thing about the episode again, then is that they were so teasing on the whole area part, right? They were like, yeah, it's gonna go to area, go to 59, and they never got it right. It's just like reusing the I think that's also big. So they were reusing, obviously, always have the episode reusing material, but they were really teasing, 59, the look part was so much fun. She was like having to read through people's back really quickly there, like status updates and so on, right? So they were really like preparing for battle, see the Lefaya part coming later and so on, and they just never got it. They got like level 1, and they was like, there is bell fighting. So it's like, man, what a tease, really, yeah. So obviously the worst episode, by far the worst episode this season. Anyway, see you guys next week. I hope for a much better episode that time.